Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and I'm here at my church, and what I want to do today is actually talk you through how much does it cost to run a modern media ministry. So let's go. AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and bills to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So I'm being realistic. With all the stuff we're talking about in running a modern media ministry, what I want to do is break down how much it actually costs on a monthly basis, as well as what it costs for the initial setup. I'm going to be a little transparent with the stuff that I have here at my church, what I'm allowed to talk about. Mainly, I'm just going to talk about all the new stuff. So the stuff that was rolled into with the church and the mortgage and stuff like that, I'm not going to include. I'm just going to talk about what it cost up front to get everything that we needed to where we're at right now, and then also what it cost monthly to maintain everything that we do here. So let's go ahead and not cut over the computer. Let's go upstairs. Alright, so we're here in the media booth, and I'm going to walk through, and I've done this before in our tour, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some prices on this stuff so you can see exactly how much everything costs. So let's go ahead and start with the mini tower over here. Alright, here is our first camera. The tripod doesn't count because this was actually donated. And we have a little light controller here. This is an older one. This was $15. This Sony Handycam is a CX230. We got that from Walmart for around, I think at the time it was $190. Alright, have a network switch up here, a TP-Link network switch. Actually got this on a Black Friday sale about 2 years ago. Got this for a $60. Alright, we have our Behringer Ultra Match Pro, which converts our signal from our soundboard here into the EAS EBU format for our ATEM. This was about $200. This HyperDeck Studio Mini that we had just recently got because of the issues with the upgrade firmware with this was going for around $650. And then we have two Samsung 120 gigabyte micro SD cards were about $20 each. Then we have the ATEM Television Studio, the original. This was right at $1,000 for this. Now, we've already talked about this is the live streaming system that we've recently upgraded. This was around $750 to $800 with all the parts that are needed, because a lot of stuff we were able to roll over from the last system. Then this is the most recent update to our ProPropresenter system that we did. This is about around the same price, not including the software that was going on there, which I will include that later. This is our multi-view screen. I actually donated this TV here, so this really didn't cost anything. I donated this. And this is actually the old gaming system that I had, that I built, and we've recently updated this. This is mainly around $900 to $1,100 for this. Then we have the Panasonic camera that I've been talking about, that I did a review and talked about and recommended anyway. This I got for about $400 here. And then the remote arms and cameras, we have two G20s that are up there hanging, as well as all of these Blackmagic devices and Ori converters here to get it into the ATEM with our cables and everything that are hidden up in the ceiling. The camera, when we got it, they were $1,000 each, and the arm, the robotic arm that it's sitting on, was about $600. So they're about $1,600 each for each one, and we have two of those. And then we also have the Marshall camera right here. I think it's the CV500, something like that. I can't remember the exact model, but I'll have it on here on the label. That was a stationary camera for about 500. So now again, we didn't do this all in one fell swoop. All of this has been done over about 6 years of piecemealing it, just adding a piece at a time and growing and growing. So don't ever think that you have to do it all in one time. You can if you want to, but a lot of this has transformed over the last 6 years that we've been up here, and we've been making modifications to make our stuff better. Now, with that being said, what do we pay for monthly? Now, I'm changing some stuff, so I'm not going to include anything that I'm doing personally. I'm only going to mention what we're doing collectively as a church. So our web hosting through our website, where we post everything through Bluehost, which I'll have a link in the description if you want to get that. We moved over to that. That is around $250 a year for web hosting for our entire website. And we live stream to Facebook, so that doesn't cost anything. And outside of that, we might buy some assets from Envato, Video Hive, or anything like that if we have any major big stuff. But we have a broadcast package that you've seen me use multiple times in our church post-production, or when I'm doing videos on how I make video announcements. Most of that stuff has already been paid for. So it was maybe $100 to $200 investment that was split over time. That was including music, no copyright protected music, or music we had the license for, so no one can hit us for that, as well as the template. Then we made everything, well, I made everything else after that using that template. So from a monthly basis, we are mainly with paying our webmaster, me, we do mainly about $100 a month to maintain our website and all the stuff that we do up here. So that's just us. Now, that's from a church standpoint. Now, I'm going to show you what I do and what I use to maintain all of this behind the scenes that I do not charge the church for. This is just what I do, as this is a part of my ministry. So let's cut over to my computer at home and we'll do that. All right, so outside of what I already talked about that I do at Video Hive, when we buy templates or things like that, or music or things like that, the main thing is I have an Adobe Cloud account where, I'll just go ahead and log in so you can actually see it. So I have a Adobe Cloud account that I use for my church, but again, I use this with other clients that I have. If I go here to my account, I have two components. I have the photography plan, which is about $9.99 a month, and then I have the After Effects plan, which is about $20.99. So it's about $30 worth of software that I run to maintain everything else here. But again, I do that, but I have other clients' work that I do, so that really compensates for that. But mainly everything else is being done by hand, using DaVinci Resolve, which is a free software, and then any other programs that I use. But that's it. So if I had to total everything out, outside of the monthly web hosting, and I said one website, is actually about four, maintained at the church, our event websites, our social media, our main website, and the Learning Center's website. That's about $100. And then we do our web hosting, which is around $250 a year. So we'll divide that by 12. So that's about another $21. So we're at 100 plus $21. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll in what I'm doing for here. You don't need Photoshop. I'm using that, but mainly I know I do use After Effects, and that's how I use the templates to do all the lower thirds and the stuff that you see here. So I'll just add another $20 to that. So on average, not including buying the hardware, our media ministry comes to around $140 to $150 a month to maintain. So again, that's not really a lot. That's about $35 a week. Not anything groundbreaking. Again, it doesn't cost a lot. Now again, I don't have to use the After Effects templates. I could just do what I originally started doing. It's just make everything by hand. It just takes longer to do. So on average, that's around, like, let's just go with the 150. That makes it easier. And that's pretty much around $1,800 a year to run. So very, very, very doable. I don't think that's anything that's crushing to any church that they could not do that. The main issue would be just trying to get started with all the equipment that you have in place. But again, that is doable. So I hope y'all are interested. That interests you, for those who wanted to know how much it costs, at least for my media ministry, to maintain that on a monthly basis. Could we do a whole lot better than what we're doing? Of course we could. Could it cost less? Yes. Could it cost more? Yes, it could. I think we found a nice little sweet spot on what we're doing. But again, I know every church is not the same, and we're, at least from here, we're trying to work on that. So if you need any help with your media ministry and you want to start doing some more stuff like this, please hit me up in the link below with a consultation. Maybe we can talk about and see what we can do and get your media ministry up and running to where you can do more stuff like what we do here. Or we're working on a kind of on-demand type of media ministry services, and we'll give you some more details about that when that comes together. But that is something that is in the works, to try and offer some additional professional stuff for your church, especially if you don't have the computers or the people to do it. So that's what we're working on. But anyway, if you like to type up, before I say all that, everything I mentioned is linked below in the description, so you can check it out for yourself, and you can kind of piecemeal it together if you want to. But with that being said, now I can say it. If you like this type of content, I appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. This is AJ, and we will see you on the next video. Later.